Welcome to the measurement section of the RBT task list. In this section, I am going to discuss how to prepare yourself for data collection. There are a few important factors that you must check off to prepare yourself before starting any data collection. In this section, we're going to go over how behavior is determined, operational definitions and why those are important in the field of ABA, and the actual steps on how to prepare for data collection. Let's begin. When determining behavior, you first want to identify which target behavior you are focusing on taking data on. It is important to utilize and refer to any assessments, such as an FBA, where the operational definitions are located. Operational definitions are explicit definitions that makes it possible for two or more observers to identify the same behavior during observations. Operational definitions must be clear, complete, and objective to the person who is reading it. The purpose is so that they can understand and follow exactly what the definition is defining so that the person can accurately record data. Operational definitions should only be for behaviors that can be observed, never internal states such as thoughts or feelings. One cannot observe those. This helps with understanding the information of the target behaviors completely in order to implement interventions correctly. It helps with accurate data collection for the behavior analyst to analyze. When preparing for data collection, you want to review any reports or plans or assessments that have been conducted on your client, so you can get the gist of what you need to focus on and what behaviors you need to pay attention to, as well as their functions. Understand what is expected from the behavior analyst. They take the time to write out a descriptive and thorough plan for staff to read and follow. Make sure to gather all your material before it is time to record data, because you want to be prepared for any behaviors that may occur. You will not have time to find your data sheet or pencil if it is not in front of you at that moment. Also, before recording data, make sure to fill out any important information such as the data, observer, client, etc. Minimize distractions for you and your client. The more space you give yourself and client, the better the environment will be for your client to learn. When gathering materials, it is super important to refer to your client's behavior intervention plan to see what method of data collection the behavior analyst wants implemented. For instance, say your client's behaviors are recorded based off of a partial interval recording method. That simply requires a timer. So you want to make sure that you have that all set and ready before starting your session with your client. It will be very difficult to start your session without the necessary materials ready beforehand. Some common materials that are used during data collection are a clipboard to keep all your papers in one place so they have quick access to. A pen or pencil are the best writing utensils to use for data collection. A pencil is highly recommended just in case you make a writing error so you can erase. It is important to write clear when recording data so others can read it, such as a behavior analyst. As mentioned before, having timers ready at hand before sessions is super important. Timers that need to be set at a certain time limit should be done beforehand and ready to be started once you begin your sessions. Ask your behavior analyst for assistance if you're having trouble setting your timers so that they are working properly during sessions. Lastly, data collection sheets are the most important piece of material that you have prepared before starting your sessions. You can always ask your behavior analyst where she keeps extra copies so you can retrieve those. Some agencies have electronic data collection systems that are a lot more convenient for staff to record data. Whether you're using paper sheets or an electronic-based system, have those ready ahead of time. Eliminating distractions is another important factor when recording any type of data on your client. Not only to distract your client, but you as an RBT do not want to be distracted as well. If there are multiple distractions in the area where you're holding your session, chances are your data will be affected and it will conflict with your session. Distractions can also take the attention away from your client. If you need your client to attend to what is in front of him, but he or she is too busy looking at something distracting them, this may cause engagement of target behaviors. As you get to know your client more, it's important to know what environment your client works best in. If you're working in the home, does the client work better in the living room versus the kitchen? Find those key places that benefit your client's learning and keep them attended to the given task. Each data sheet or application will require the RBT to fill out the client's information, so the behavior analyst knows which data goes to which client. This is super, super important. The common information that is asked to be filled out is the client's name. Some staff will put client's initials only for confidentiality, or some might put first initial and their last name. Some data sheets or applications may ask for the client's birth date. Follow up with your supervisor or behavior analyst to make sure that they need this type of information when taking data. Setting. Behavior analysts are interested in seeing the different settings where clients are performing their work. Based off the recorded data, This will show the different settings that will work well for the client or not so well. This allows the behavior analyst to make any necessary changes to the client's behavior plan. Date and time of observation. It is important to document the date of each observation because when behavior analysts oversee the recorded data, it will show any type of behavior patterns or if anything specific happened on that day that may have caused any occurrence of target behaviors. The type of data recording method should be outlined in the functional behavior assessment or the behavior intervention plan. Consult with your supervisors if you're unsure of the data recording method you should be utilizing. When collecting data, we record behaviors that are observable or describable. We graph collected data on behaviors and environmental stimuli, which are antecedents and consequences. Okay, now you should be all ready to collect data. Remember, it's always important to keep your eyes on the client during observation periods. You don't want to miss any behaviors that are occurring.